my help.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Friday. And as usual, here goes your Friday video. Now, last week we asked, we spoke about, is the sun still shining? We definitely know when there are clouds, we know that the sun is still behind those clouds. It's still shining somewhere else. Not only the sun is present when there is cloudy days, but the son is there. Jesus is there within our times where our clouds, the clouds of life, just seem so dark in our life. Now, we talk about having the rain, and when we have rain, how important it is, because with rain we get the beautiful luscious landscape and all these different things. We get water. We have resources because of water. We need water. We need water in order to function, to live. As a matter of fact, more than 70% of our body is made up of water. So that's how important water is. So we talked about the rain last week and just making sure that the sun is shining in our life. Now today I want to talk about spring. A spring for the soul. So when you think about a spring, you probably think about another body of water. There is the spring water that's coming directly from the mountains, and most people like spring water. They said it's refreshing. I know in Jamaica, where I'm from, we have a lot of different spring water mineral bath where people normally go. A lot of tourists go just to get that water. There's one specifically that the water that comes out the mountain is so hot that the people will lay there at the riverside, and people come there and give you a massage with a towel, because the water that's coming out of the mountain is pure hot water. And no, we haven't had any active volcano in Jamaica. I think they said there is one. I've never been there, so I don't know. So I'm not spreading any news, okay? No gossip right here. But we have some hot water that come out. So let's talk about a spring for the soul. Now, Psalms 36 verse 9 says, "For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light." We need light. Jesus is the light of the world. He is the sun, correct? The son. So he is the light of the world, and we need the sun. Now, sadly, many people get happiness from outward circumstances. So once everything is going well, their finances is going well, their career is going well, their family is happy, all these different things, outward things are happening, then people tend to say, you know what, I'm happy, or I found happiness. But once those things change, once trouble come into, our life, even my life, even your life, I'm assuming, then things start changing. Things start changing, not changing for the best, but sort of kind of change for the worse. People start feeling a sense of unhappiness, a sense of being uneasy regarding life and life circumstances. Unfortunately, when these trouble come, a lot of people don't know how to deal with them. And therefore, we find out we have people, committing suicide, taking their life. A lot of people end up in the mental hospital because now they're succumb by just mental illness, depression just fall upon them, and they've reached to a point where they cannot break free from depression. So there's a sense of unhappiness when trouble arrive, when illness strike. That's the next thing, because it don't necessarily have to be trouble per se, but then think about sickness. Think about people who have cancer, people who have diabetes. A good friend of mine passed away from diabetes, and we spoken, we talk, and I've mentioned her in my new book, The Sparrow During Stormy Times. And we were talking, and while I was even driving to the church, I thought about her, and one of the conversations we had before she passed away and before I even went to Africa was an egg. An egg, if you crack it from the outside, it's dead. Think about it. You have an egg, you crack it, what's going to be there? the yolk and the whites and all of that. You crack it from the outside, it's dead. But if the egg is cracked from the inside out, it's alive, because guess what? You're going to get a baby chick from it. So if you think about your life and just happiness and sickness and being broken, we don't like brokenness. We don't like being in a situation where we feel hopeless. But there is still hope. There is a spring for your soul. Of course, we already know who that spring is. We know that if we just dwell in the Word of God, it will spring forth in our life like rivers of water. Rivers of water. And we need that. We need those rivers of water for even our soul. So we talk about illness. Now relationship, when our relationship are broken, so many people have gone through divorces. Those are broken relationship, and not necessarily just marital relationship with your children, relationship with family members. When those relationships are broken, then you get a sense of, okay, unhappiness, unease in your life. Then we have, our so many different troubles. I won't go through them all, but there is so much, thousands and thousands of unexpected trouble that engulf people. Then happiness seems to flee from us, because now we take the focus from life itself and put our focus on the troubles of life, the things that are happening, the things that are making us unhappy. Near my home is a spring, and near my home is a spring that never varies its flow. Flood may rage, but its output does not increase. A long summer drought may come, but it won't decrease. Its flow is steady, reliable, and unending. And I told you, where I'm from in Jamaica, there is so many different springs, and the water just always just come out. And it's not even a big body of water. It's just small. And no matter if there is a drought, still flowing. If there is like extra rain, rain that's just falling, guess what? The river probably run, hard and flood, and people have to, detour. But the spring water, always just so clean, always just flowing, just steady. Such is the peace we all yearn for. Yearn for it. Don't you yearn for that peace? That still water that will just flow. We'll just yearn for that water. For such is the peace Jesus promises to all who trust in him. The water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water, springing up into everlasting life. My peace I give to you. And that's John 4:14 and John 14:27. And I love John 14:27. It says, peace I give to you. I don't give you peace as the world gives, because we know that anything that the world gives to us is so temporary. You feel good for this moment, and then the next moment, in a blink of an eye, everything can just change. But Jesus promises true peace. He said, peace I give you. Peace, an everlasting peace. An everlasting peace he promised us. Now, have you come to the unending spring, which is Christ? Are you coming to him each day? Now, as we're in a new year and we embark on new ventures and new things and new adventure, make room for God. I went to a women conference over the weekend, and I just want to thank my family over there at KCM Church for just a time of basking in the Spirit, for just soaking in the Spirit. Last week I spoke about some of those songs that we sing in church, those rain songs, till we are wet, until we are soaked in the latter rain. I was soaking in the Spirit this weekend, just basking in God's presence. And there is this song, honestly, I've never heard it before. And the song says, I will make room for you. And I will make room for you to do whatever you want to do whatever you want to. And I will make room for you to do whatever you want to do whatever you want to. Jesus, are you making room for God? For him to just come in, for him to just fill, for him to just spring up into your life, spring up into your soul, spring up into every area of your life. Remember, the peace that the world gives to you is only temporal, but the peace of God is eternal. Now, the world attempts to woo people with its version of happiness. Today, spend time alone with Christ and experience joy that is full and pleasure that are eternal. Make room for God. Make room. Make room. One of my desires for this year is to make room for God. Not only for a breakthrough, not only to break forth, but to make room for God, to have a deeper relation with God, to have a deeper connection with God. So then, I could say, God, do whatever. My will, put my will aside. Let your will be done in my life. Are you going to make room for God this week? Are you going to make room for God today? Are you going to make room for God, not only for today, but the days to come, the months to come, for the year? And after this year has passed, are you going to make room for God? Are you going to allow God to spring for the soul? Be that spring for your soul. Are you going to make him be the light of your light? I charge you this week, as much as I'm going to charge myself, to allow God to be that spring for my soul this week. And as you just dwell on it, make room for God. Make room for him. Make time. Make time for God. Make time to bask in his presence. So as usual, don't forget to smash that like button, click subscribe, ring the notification bell, and most important, share. The best is yet to come. Love you guys and see you guys next week. And I will make room for you. And I will make room